This country here in the Southeast Asia is Vietnam. Vietnam got its independence from France on 2nd September 1945. But after World War II, the French sought to reassert control over their former colony, which had been occupied by the Japanese during the war. This marked the beginning of the First Indochina War. The First Indochina War concluded with the 1954 Geneva Accords, which temporarily divided Vietnam into North and South along the 17th parallel. The division of Vietnam resulted in the Vietnam War, with the North supported by the Soviet Union and China, and the South backed by the United States. The war ended in 1975 when North Vietnamese forces captured Saigon, leading to the reunification of Vietnam under communist control. The Vietnam War had left the country with a severely damaged infrastructure, including roads, bridges, schools, and hospitals. Vietnam faced a struggling economy as a result of the war, isolation from international trade, and the economic embargo imposed by the United States. In the late 1980s, the Vietnamese government introduced a series of economic reforms known as Doi Moi, means renovation. These reforms shifted the country from a centrally planned economy to a socialist-oriented market economy. Doi Moi opened up the country to foreign investment and trade, which played a crucial role in stimulating economic growth. Vietnam worked to mend diplomatic relations with other countries, particularly the United States. The normalization of relations with the U.S. in 1995 helped Vietnam reintegrate into the global economy and attracted foreign investment. Efforts were made to rebuild schools, universities, and healthcare infrastructure. The government invested in education and healthcare, leading to significant improvements in literacy rates and healthcare access. Vietnam has invested in its education system and vocational training programs, resulting in a relatively skilled workforce. Vietnam's labor costs are lower like China. This cost advantage makes it an appealing location for labor-intensive industries, such as manufacturing and textiles. The Vietnamese government has implemented policies and incentives to attract foreign investment, including supporting businesses in hiring and training local workers. These business-friendly policies have attracted significant FDI to the country. Vietnam has a relatively stable political environment, which is conducive to long-term investment. Some of the leading industries driving the manufacturing boom in Vietnam are pharmaceuticals, automotive, e-commerce, electronics and electrical appliances, footwear and garments, machinery and equipment. Amid the U.S.-China trade sanctions and rising labor costs in China, Vietnam has become a favorable choice for manufacturing. Many international companies like Samsung, Nike, Adidas, Intel, and many others have shifted their manufacturing base to Vietnam. Samsung has invested heavily in Vietnam over the years, establishing a strong presence in the country's electronic manufacturing sector. The South Korean tech giant has several manufacturing facilities in Vietnam. Around 50% of Samsung's smartphones and tablets are produced in Vietnam and exported to 128 countries and territories. 58% of Samsung's global smartphone sales globally come from its production facilities in Vietnam, according to Prime Minister Nguyen Xuan. Vietnam has actively pursued and entered into various trade agreements, like Trans-Pacific Partnership and the European Union-Vietnam Free Trade Agreement. These agreements have enhanced Vietnam's access to international markets, making it an attractive destination for businesses looking to diversify their supply chains. Vietnam's role as a significant player in the global supply chain will continue to grow, but a complete replacement of China as the primary manufacturing hub remains uncertain.